Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Bone Blast mini class, where we just do the exercises that are designed to target your bone density. And we're going to start with a dowel on our back, get ourselves warmed up. It's always best that you do a quick brisk walk before you do this class. You don't want to be sitting for 2 hours or an hour, before you start this class, because you don't want to sit for a long period of time and then do strength training. That tends to be detrimental for disc problems and things like that. So it's always a great idea to do a brisk walk. And then the other thing is to make sure that you can touch the ground with the 3 points of contact. Yeah, that looks good, Marcia. Nice, Linda. Okay, and then Kay, keep your head against the stick. Good, Cynthia, there you go. And if you can turn to the side, that's better. Nice, that's good, then I can see you. All right, Kay, if you can tilt your camera down, that will be better. All right, now I'm going to put the dowel back over here. And I've got my box filled up with my weight. You want to start with as much weight as you think you can handle. So usually the weight of a grocery bag, if you're used to carrying your groceries, is a good idea, like 10 pounds, and then start to go up on your weight as you get stronger. So straddling the object, getting right on top of it, bringing your hips into that hip hinge, shins vertical, toes in line with the center of the box, and then reaching, if it has handles, you can do a couple of little shoulder shrugs just to kind of test it, and then reaching to the bottom of the box, stand up, touch and lift, touch and lift, touch and lift. Keep going, and you're going to make it to 10, and then we're going to see how that feels as far as intensity. You want to be at 70 to 85% intensity, which means you get to fatigue anywhere between 5 and 10 repetitions. All right. Once you've done your 10th rep, stop for a moment, kind of settle in there and see how that feels. Could you do more? If you could, that means you can put a couple of more pounds in your box for your next set. So if you're still using the box, go ahead and put a couple of more pounds in it if you are ready for that. If you felt like it was too much, then take some out. So you can adjust it that way. You've got 3 sets in which to get it right. Okay, so now I'm going to get my barbell out and show you how to use that. Okay, so straddling the barbell, or not straddling it, but standing underneath it, and then having your toes right underneath the barbell, hands right on top of the toes, shoulder width apart. You're going to pull those shoulders back, breathe in and breathe out, stand straight up, and just let the bar rest against your body. Or the box, whatever you're using. You're going to touch and lift. If you're not using a barbell, just do another set of box lifts. That's right, Cynthia. There you go. And 2, stand up tall between each 1, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Now, assess whether or not you could do more. If you could do more, I'm going to turn and face the side for our next set and see if you could do more. All right, now to recover, you want to put your hands behind your back and do a few back extensions. Another way to recover, if that doesn't feel good to you, is to stretch up and just kind of letting your muscles recover and get out of that sort of quivery feeling where you start getting a little shaky. Yeah, nice work. That looks good. Okay, now I'm going to show you something that I have here to adjust the weight easily. You can use a little wrist weight to go up or down on the weight very easily. So these are only 1 pound, and you can go up 1 to 2 pounds at a time by putting a little wrist weight on your barbell. So, and that is if you're using a barbell, right? All right, now, again, now this time I'm going to turn my toes out just a little bit, just to do a little bit of different variety of positioning, okay? And set myself up. I just realized I don't have my second light on. There's some shadows. There we go. And then hinge at the hip. Place the hands on the etchy part of the bar. Pull those shoulders back. Breathe in and breathe out. Stand straight up. And just stand tall. Not too much arch. Just stand tall. And then hinge, touch, and lift. keeping those shoulders pulled back. And 3, stretch it up. Chest lifted, Marsha. And 4. And 5. Stand all the way up, Cynthia. Yes, good. 6. And 7. Should feel this mostly in your glutes and your back muscles. 2 more. And once you get to your 10th one, could you do more, right? That means it's time to go up on the weights for the next set. So that was our 3rd set. I'm gonna place the bar aside. And now I'm gonna grab the dowel with the bands tied to it. So I'm just gonna show you quickly the position of the bar for the overhead press. Standing with your feet together. We're gonna press the bar overhead, pull to the chest. Press overhead and pull to the chest. Yes, and then take it up, and then I'm gonna bend my knees so you can see better, and then put it behind your head. And see if you can do it without bending your head forward. All right. Nice, that's good. Okay, now taking the bar, and I have 2, so I'm gonna take my bar, put my bands on it, stand on the bands. Now the blue one is tighter than the green one, so I'm gonna make the blue one a little bit looser than the green. And then another thing you can do to add challenge to your exercises is you can stand on one leg. So don't feel compelled to do that if you are not ready for that, but you can make the blue looser than the green, stand on one leg, bring the bar to your chest, and then press it overhead. So set 1, we'll press overhead while standing on our left leg or the right, it doesn't matter which one, as long as you change for the next set. 3, and 4, and 5. Okay, now for this part, let's go behind the head if you can. Yeah, you don't have to. If you have the mobility, you can do that. 2. I love how that opens the chest. 3. So healthy for the shoulders. 4. And 5. Now stay here. And I want you to feel that load right through the spine when you stretch overhead. Bring it down, switch feet if you are working on your balance, okay? All right, now bring the bar to your chest. And I feel like I want to tense up for the next set because that was a little bit easy for me to get to 10. So I'm going to tighten up the bands a little bit and then do 5 chest, 2, and 3 to the chest. 4, shoulders go down as arms go up. And 5. All right, now we're going to take it behind the head. If you can, you don't have to. If you're not ready for that, try to keep your head facing forward. It's hard not to bend the head forward. And 2 more. Last one. All right, those triceps are working. Press it up and really lift up to the back of your waist. Feel the spine lengthen here, and then take it down. All right, well done. All right, we're going to put that aside. And I'm going to show you something new today. So when you get to the maximum of your dumbbells for your back squats, you're going to put the dumbbells on the shoulders. I don't like doing barbell work overhead at home by yourself. So I do the dumbbells until you get to the maximum weight of your dumbbells. So the back squat looks like that with your dumbbells on your shoulders. If you get to the point where this is not enough weight, then what you do, you take those dumbbells and you put them into a backpack. So right now I have my backpack filled up with a big 25-pound weight and some pillows to cushion it. So I can just throw things in there. I can throw water bottles and soup cans and whatever I have at my disposal. And I always pack it in around some pillows. The one thing you want to remember about your backpack is don't sit down and try to twist and put it on because it's pretty heavy. You're going to bear hug it, take it over to your kitchen counter. Mine is right here. Hope you can see. Pop it onto the kitchen counter, turn it around, put it on your back while it's supported at your waist. You don't have to twist your spine or anything, and then step away, and the backpack is safely on your back. Taking it off is pretty easy. So no problem with taking it off, but putting it on, I've had a couple of people hurt themselves trying to put it on while they're sitting in a chair or low. Okay, so you've either got the dumbbells on your shoulders or backpack, okay? Standing with your feet apart, hands holding either the dumbbells or the backpack. And now squatting down. So one of the things I love to do is I like to get a little chair or a stool and put it behind me and see how low I'm going. So you want to get from a chair height to maybe a toilet seat height with these. Yeah, most chairs are like 17, 18 inches high, and toilets are around 15 inches high. Unless they have an elevated seat, which I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, so you feel most of the work in your thighs with this one. Even though it's called a back squat, you're more vertical in your trunk, and your thighs will really feel the work. Okay, now just walk around after you do that 10th one. Kind of see, could you have done more weight? You usually don't have to go up so much on the weight. You just have to deepen your squat to make it more challenging. All right, so I'm going to grab that stool that I mentioned so I can see how low I'm going. And then I can also take my dumbbells, instead of keeping them on my shoulders, I can reach them forward. So I'm going to grab these and then take it forward and do a little squat. Touch and lift. Touch and lift. It's like I always go a lot lower when I have that stool behind me. It's like, oh, wow. Didn't realize I wasn't squatting very deep. That looks great, everybody. Yes, 10 times like that. Whew, quads are working. And with the dumbbells going out in front, my upper back is really working too. All right, one more. Whew, yes. Okay, I'm going to put these down, and I'll be using these in a moment for the prone work. Okay, I'm sitting down. I'm going to take the backpack off and put it away. Okay, so now let's use TheraBand for our heel raises. I love using TheraBand for heel raises. I think it's such a great tool. So I'm going to step onto the band with one foot. So usually a green or a blue works well. And then I choke up a little bit on the band, stand on one leg, lift my knee. All right. And then I can start by doing no resistance at all or very little. See how that feels. If you feel like you need less resistance or no resistance, and you're just practicing for your balance, you can also use a dowel. Let me just show you. Instead of the band, right? You put the dowel on the same side of the leg that you're standing on, and then you might not use the band for resistance at first when you're learning and when you're getting stronger. All right, so once you get to 10, let's change sides, see how that felt. So on the next set, you might be able to tense up the band a little bit. So I might choke up on the band on the next set. Here we go, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That looks great, Cynthia. 8, 9. Keep that leg up, Linda. 10. All right, good. Feeling that little burn. Okay, now change sides, and we're going to add an arm exercise with this one. So we're going to flex our knuckles and pretend like we're holding a serving tray. So that will tense up the band just a little bit, and then lift, lower, lift, lower, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hey, Celeste. All right, and then other side. We're going to do a different arm exercise, still adding resistance for the calf. All right, we're going to be palms down, little fly. Make sure when you do your fly that your elbows don't lead. You want your hands to lead and your elbows to be lower than your hands. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. So that's how we kind of get in our dynamic balance with our exercises. So we're going to keep the band for the lunges. You don't have to use resistance if you're not ready. You want to make sure that you measure your stride length. And I know that mine is about 36 inches. And the way you measure that is you go into your marriage proposal lunge, you measure from toe to toe, and that's your stride length. I usually make a little mark on the mat, and then I can do my lunges at that level, okay? And with that length. And so you do it consistently every time. Feel free to use a dowel if you need to for balance, okay? So stepping forward on a railroad track, both feet pointed straight ahead. We're gonna do our warm up first, both legs straight. Stretch the heel down and back, up and forward. I love this exercise for warming up for walking. Do 4 or 5 like that. Get that calf to stretch, get the front of your hip to stretch, really keep that back knee straight and torso vertical. All right, we're gonna keep that back heel lifted and now do a little tiny lunge. How's that feel? Try not to let your head come forward. It's really tempting to do that. And then see if you can go all the way down. If you happen to have knee pain with this, feel free to do what I call the knee pain version. You can just load that front leg, keep the back knee straight. See how that feels if you have knee pain. So either way, doing 10 times your preferred lunge. All right, now step together and let's switch sides. Stepping forward, both legs straight. Stretch that heel down and up and down and up, down and up. When that heel cord or that Achilles tendon feels like it's been kind of stretched out, your hip flexor feels open, then you can start your lunges, easing into it, slowly lowering down. And you can always get into a door frame and kind of stick your foot back in the hallway, have your back against the door frame to get support and alignment if you're new to doing lunges or if they bother your knees. And again, you can do the knee pain version where you're just bending your front knee if you want to. All right, so 10, your preferred way. All right, now step together. Now I'll show you how to do your resistance with it. The reason I love TheraBands for resistance is they're really portable. You can do them when you're traveling easily, throw them in your suitcase. And then with the lunge, most of the resistance is at the top part of the lunge where the band is really stretched out. And so as you go down, the lunge gets a lot harder at the bottom and there's no tension. So it's really nice that you can get that tension at the top end of the lunge where it's the easiest. And you can add the resistance by doing a bicep curl or a fly. And you can do upper body work and lower body work at the same time. I love that efficiency so that we can not have to spend hours doing our exercises. We can just spend a few minutes really targeting our bone density and strength. All right, excellent. Step together and let's do the other side. All right, both legs straight ahead, back foot straight ahead. Try not to let it turn out. You want it parallel to the edge of the mat. Rise up with that back heel. Add the resistance as you wish. Flex those knuckles, shoulders set. Here we go. 1 and 2, 3. You guys look great. 4. Wow, Linda, good posture. Nice. Cynthia. Good job, Marcia. That looks great, Kay. Excellent. 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, now we're just gonna go all the way to the mat, but make sure you have all your things that you need for the back extension work. So you need a pillow for your ribs, you'll need your ball for back extension, and if you're using dumbbells to add resistance, go ahead and grab those. All right, I'll put mine down here. Stepping to the back of the mat. Take a big step forward, graceful dismount to the floor. Coming all the way onto the mat. And then I'm gonna grab my magic ball, put it behind my back. And I'm gonna have it above my waistline and below my shoulder blades. Taking it back, hands behind my head. I like to put the thumbs under my skull. And then we're gonna arch back. And then exhale up, just ease into it. Inhale to arch back. And notice how my neck is not really moving. It's just going for a ride. I'm keeping it lengthened. And I'm not lifting up my head. If you feel like tension under your thumb, the base of your skull, that means you lifted your head up. And so you lifted your chin. And so you want to keep those muscles relaxed as you work. Really targeting movement at your mid back. All right, now lift your hips up, move the hips forward. And then your ball gets kind of between your shoulder blades. You can bring your elbows forward to get your shoulder blades out of the way. Imagine you have eyes on your elbows. You're going to look at the ceiling. And look at the back wall. Exhale, ribs to the pelvis. Inhale, take it back, wrapping around the ball. And exhale up. Inhale, stretch back over the ball. And exhale up. And stretching back over the ball. And exhale up. All right, now, one more set. We're going to go to the top of the thoracic spine. Now I'm going to try to keep my hips lifted. You don't have to, but to get more pressure on the ball in that area, you might have to lift your hips and just let them float. Bring your elbows forward, and then you're going to press your head back. Now I'm going to move my hand just so you can see what I'm doing with my head. So my head is basically, I call it the chicken and the swan. So chicken neck, not what we want. Swan neck is what we're going for. So we're pressing the back of our head and neck toward the floor, moving our head away from the ceiling, pulling it down. And so I'm not nodding yes and no, I'm just retracting, like I'm trying to get away from my hand here. All right, and then let's take it all the way forward. And then you can go into the ball being at the base of your neck here, get a little massage, press into your low back, lift one leg, lift the other leg, use your abdominals here to press the back to the mat, take the hands out and do the 100. And then start to extend your legs if you want to. If you're more advanced, you can lower the legs a little bit and keep the pulsing going. You can always bend one knee in if it's too much and lower one leg as you do your pulsing arms. So that's an easier way to do it. You can do the other side. Do 3 lower and lift, keeping your back flat on the mat while you're relaxing your neck on the ball. All right, put your feet down. Let's roll to the side and then push yourself up. Now I'm going to use my pillow to put under my rib cage to make sure I'm cushioning the ribs on a hard surface. So I want my pubic bone on the floor, ribs in the center of the pillow, and so that I'm angled downward in my low back. This is what helps you from over contracting your low back. And you know, some people feel uncomfortable in their low back with this exercise, but the pillow really helps if you position yourself appropriately. Take your hands stacked up under your head, walk your elbows out wide, press your armpits down, keep your eyes on your thumbs, and let's lift the head away from the hands. Draw the shoulders down and back, breathe in, keep the pubic bone pressing down, lift the left hand to your forehead. Let's do 3 lifts like that. 2 and 3. Make sure the elbow's lower than your hand. Switch hands, press into your bottom hand to help, and lift. 2 and 3. All right, take both hands to your forehead and lift. 2 and 3. Now, if you want to add a dumbbell, add 1 dumbbell. You can do your set of 10 like that, or you can take 2 dumbbells and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just remember that if you're not ready for the dumbbells, you can do this with great challenge, just with your own body weight. You don't have to add dumbbells right away. So wait till you get stronger. All right, now hands in a goalpost position. This is going to target the mid-thoracic. The first one targets the upper. Now I'm going to lift my chest as high as I can, keeping my forearms glued to the floor. And then I'm going to lift my hands and just lift. This is like a little rotator cuff exercise while you're stabilizing with your upper back. Then I'm going to keep my hands lifted and then lift. keeping my elbows lower than my shoulders and lower than my hands. That keeps your neck relaxed. You want to add the dumbbells, grab those and go for it. 2, elbows lower than shoulders. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Place the dumbbells down. Now place your hands in the third position, which is kind of the swan or cobra, maybe a push-up position, and then press the elbows toward the feet, lift up, and this is where the pillow comes in real handy because you're pressing the ribs into the pillow, lift the chest up and forward, eyes looking at the front of your mat. Now lift your hands, press your elbows down towards your feet, and then you can lower and lift. Remember, elbows lower than hands. That's going to keep your neck relaxed. If you want to add the dumbbells, get those, and then go up and down. Your arms are not moving in relation to your torso. They're just going for a ride. And you're really targeting that lower thoracic area. If you feel it in your low back too much, then don't go up quite so high or take the weight down a little bit. And when you finished your 10, place your dumbbells down. And you can pat yourself on the back and be glad that you made it through all of the strength training in the class. All right, now place the hands in a push-up position, elbows toward the feet, and then either with knees down or feet down, give me 5 push-ups. Do your best with 2 and 3. I'm going to do 3 more with my feet on the mat, knees lifted, full push-up. All right, bring those knees down. Extend your arms way out and feel that lovely length through the spine. Great stretch for the shoulders if you have trouble with overhead press. Separate your hands if it bothers your shoulders. That usually feels better. And then let's take the knees apart and then sit back towards your heels, stretching long on the mat. Breathe in, nice deep breath in. Feel the back expand, the tissues expand from the inside out. Great way to stretch your back if you have low bone density. And then come up to sitting. And I want you to use either your pillow or a yoga block to prop yourself up on. Usually if you're sitting like this, you might, feel like your feet or your legs will go to sleep if you sit without something propping you up. And it allows you to sit vertically in a better posture. So I want you to put your hands on your low back, and you're welcome to sit cross-legged. If you prefer that, you can sit cross-legged and place your hands on your low back and make sure that you can stay in a relaxed muscular state in your low back muscles when you sit up tall. For me, crossing my legs tenses up my back a little bit more. I don't have as much hip mobility. So my preferred way to sit is like this, because now my back muscles are nice and soft. I'm holding myself up with my internal muscles that I can't feel or see. Everything is stacked up from pelvis to rib cage, shoulders, and head. That forward head position is so important to keep the lower abdominal wall active. So if you pull your head back a little bit, that actually turns on the abdominals, even lifts the pelvic floor a little bit. Okay, so keeping that thought in your mind with the spine stretching long, crown of the head reaching toward the sky, feeling the shoulders soft, low back muscles relaxed. Take a deep breath in. Imagine breathing in golden healing light, and send that golden healing light down into your bones, stimulating those osteoblasts along the way. Allow that healing light to massage any tissues that tend to feel sore, or painful, or tight, bringing nutrients to the area just through your thoughts. And let's repeat in our minds, I am happy, I am well, I am strong. Realizing that we can build bone and strength, improve our posture at any age. Let's send a message of healing to our family and friends, wishing them happiness, wellness, and strength. And then further, send a message of healing to all beings on the planet. Let everyone be happy, be well, and be strong. Let that lovely light return to your eyes, the big smile across your face, lifting your arms, stretching up. Oh, with that feeling of joy and gratitude. And bring your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the class. If you have any questions, please let me know.